Hello there. Baofeng UV-5R Mini or 5R Mini. We're going to be testing this radio, but it's not going to be the testing that you're probably thinking of. We're going to be testing the range on this, going from this to a repeater or several repeaters, we'll have to see. Then we're also going to test this on Simplex, which is going from radio to radio. Basically, we're going to be testing this guy to its little brother that I got. During that Simplex test, ooh, this one hurts to say, we're also going to be doing a drop test on this. The drop test, just to give you guys a quick parameter, it's right from my waist, just goes to the ground. I think that's a pretty realistic thing, like it popped off of the belt clip and fell to the ground. We're also going to be testing this to see if this will hold up, well, in some environments that it might go to. We're going to be getting it wet. The last test that we're going to do is the battery life. Then we're also going to be testing it by getting it dirty. How we're going to test that? We're going to turn it on. We're going to put it on the no weather channel, and we're going to put it outside, and we're just going to let it go. Stick around. First repeater test, approximately 8 to 9 miles away. All right. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo KC9 USB. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo. All right, see if we hit it.
Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo KC9 USB. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo.
Okay, now this one here is about 13 miles away, 13, 14 miles approximately. All right, see if we hit it.
This is the K9BAR repeater system.
Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo KC9 USB. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, looking for a radio test. All right, see if it went through. Sounds like it.
This is the K9BAR repeater system.
So we just got done doing the repeater test, but I just have to make mention of a couple things. This antenna that I'm using did come with the radios, marked as a Nagoya NA771. Yeah. Hit the one repeater, no problem. That was about maybe 9 to 10 miles or so. The other one that we went to go hit was about 14, 15 miles out and wouldn't hit it. Now, to be fair to the Baofeng, there are a lot of factors that go into the effective range of a radio and propagation and other things like that. We could do a whole other video on that. This didn't do anything spectacular or worse. I actually took my Yaesu FT3D and I hooked that up to a signal stick and I got about the same results, those repeaters. I did try another one going out west that was further, and that one came in about 18 to 19 miles or so, and it didn't hit it. But this does give you at least a good idea in terms of the HT, Baofeng UV-5R, hitting a repeater. I would say around my area would be 10 miles approximately. Let's move on and let's try Simplex. Quarter mile out Simplex, radio to radio. KC9 USB, Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo. KC9 USB, Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, quarter mile test.
KC9 USB, Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo. KC9 USB, Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, quarter mile test.
Gonna walk over to the sidewalk over here and do the drop test. Oh boy, this is tough. All right, just gonna drop it from about the waist level. All right. Whew. I hate that sound. See if it still hits a repeater. Okay, still working. First drop test good. So we kind of had to skip the half a mile and we're now out a mile. So we're gonna see if this goes through. And I'm gonna actually kind of turn to face where the other radio is. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, KC9 USB. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, 1 mile out, 1 mile test. Clear.
Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, KC9 USB. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, 1 mile out, test. Clear.
Here comes the next part. Gonna drop it on the sidewalk over here. Ugh. Whew. So the battery did pop off, but kind of expected.
Channel mode.
Okay, we're back on. See if we can hit the repeater. Yep, and we hit it. Okay, we're out here. This is 2 miles. 2 miles out. As the crow flies, it would be about that way. So let's give it a shot. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, KC9 USB. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, 2 miles, 2 mile test, 2 miles out. KC9 USB clear. All right.
Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, KC9 USB. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, 2 miles, 2 mile test, 2 miles out. KC9 USB clear.
All right. Whew. Drop test. I turn this off. Oh boy. Battery came off again. Let's plug it back in. I'm sure this would happen with any other radio. So, and
Channel mode.
we're back on.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. We'll see you at 3 miles. So I just wanted to clarify something. I actually made a mistake on the distances. I'm actually 3 miles out. So the last one I just did where I said I was 2, it was actually 3 miles. And my wife said that I got through on it. She could hear me. She recorded it and everything. So we're going to go out to 4. We're going to go out to 4 miles because I'm actually 3 miles right now. So I apologize about that. I just double checked. Whoops. And it's really buggy here, which is weird for the middle of November, but it's also 60 degrees and beautiful. We will see you at 4 miles. All right, so we are approximately right now about 4 miles away, still using the stock antenna that came with it to going mini stock antenna that came with the other one. UV-5R to mini UV-5R Simplex, and this is 4 miles. All right, Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, radio test 4 miles, 4 miles, radio test Simplex 4 miles, Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo clear. See if we got that. Okay, so we went back to 3.5 miles. This is 3.5 miles out. It didn't hit the other radio at 4 miles. So we're gonna try 3.5 here. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, KC9 USB. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo. KC9 USB, 3.5 miles out, 3.5 miles out. KC9 USB clear. All right, let's see what we got. And then we'll do the drop test.
Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, KC9 USB. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo. KC9 USB, 3.5 miles out, 3.5 miles out. 9 USB.
All right, here comes the drop test.
Channel mode.
Okay,
2, 3, 4, 5, 4.
let's see if it works. Okay. All right. So as a control to this whole experiment, I also brought along a Yaesu FT3D attached to a signal stick. So this is a little bit of a better antenna. My wife did say that she did hear me, but it was very broken up. So I'm going to see how this one sounds also. Kilo Charlie 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo, KC9 USB, Kilo Charlie 9. All right. 9 Uniform Sierra Bravo. 3.5 miles with the Yaesu. 3.5 miles with the Yaesu. KC9, USB clear.
Kilo Charlie 9, uniform Sierra Bravo. KC 9 USB. Kilo Charlie 9, uniform Sierra Bravo. 3.5 miles with the Yaesu. 3.5 miles with the Yaesu. KC 9, USB clear.
So this thing has handled the drop tests. I've actually had this on for quite a few hours just to make sure that this is working and everything. And so far, yeah, it's been good to go. Don't know if you guys can see the bottom there. It did get pretty scuffed up from the drops, but other than that, just having the battery pop off when you drop it a couple times. Yeah, normally I don't drop my radios on purpose. Range-wise, Simplex was about 3.5 miles. Now, I just want to say there are a lot of factors that go into this. Differences of propagation, your area that you may live. I am in Illinois. I am in a far west suburban area of Chicago. We don't have skyscrapers. We don't have mountains. We don't have things like that. Your range may be more. Your range may be less. For here, at least gives you a baseline of about Simplex 3.5 miles. So tomorrow comes more difficult things to do with this little guy. We're gonna put this through the environmental test. All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Get ready for this. It's gonna be really tough to do. Okay, next day. Baofeng UV-5R Mini. This is the same one as yesterday. See the scuff marks on the bottom here.
Channel mode.
Working. I did change out to the stubby antenna here. Now, the reason why I did this is because for this test, this seems to seal up around the antenna better than the longer NA771 antenna. Also, put a piece of electrical tape over the USB-C port. With all that being said, we also had to modify this test a little bit, and we basically had to come inside. That is a planter. We already have some dirt, sand in the bottom there. All right. In he goes. More dirt. Boy, this is terrible to do. I do not like doing this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave this for about 30 minutes. I just had the top of the antenna showing. I did leave it on. So for reference, this is the other Baofeng UV-5R Mini that came with it when I bought these two. And I've actually had this thing on since 0900, but I just wanted to quickly show you all. Put this back on the weather channel, hold down the 0 key, your local NOAA weather channels.
The wind was west at 21 miles an hour.
So this has been going since 0900. Right now it is a little after noon, 12:10 on my clock. I'm actually going to switch this back because I also had the light on. Hold down to 0. We're back to the weather.
Under mostly sunny skies.
All right, and we'll continue the battery test on this other one. See y'all in about 30 minutes. Well, it's been a little bit more than a half an hour, but I'd say that's pretty dirty and dusty.
21:20.
See if I can hit a local repeater here. All right, well, we're gonna have to try that outside, but yeah, it got a little bit of dirt and dust on it. Okay, well, next part, we're gonna spray it down. Okay, so we just came upstairs, see if this hits a repeater. Next part of this test is we're gonna spray this thing down. Now, I was gonna use my hose, and unfortunately, it had a hole in it. I'm gonna use the next best thing. I'm just gonna be sitting here for a while, spraying this down. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the radio off, Still dirty. Ah, man, I'm gonna need a drink here in a minute. All right, I'm gonna basically empty this bottle and I'll get back to you. Yeah, I hope you guys can hear me over the leaf blower guy. Bottle is empty. Oh, little drip. And this thing is pretty well soaked. This is almost gone. So let's turn this thing on. Okay. Some more in focus there for you. Still works. Dirt, water, dropping. I'm pretty impressed. $17, guys. That's pretty good.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so I might have spoke too soon. It is now switching on and off randomly. This isn't IP rated for submersion or anything like that. So, you know, I did spray it down like it was caught in a rainstorm to simulate that. We're stuck in this now. So I'm going to disconnect the battery. I'm going to let this air out. It looks like we might have broke it, but it's such a nice day. Go some geese. And there's my dog Winchester playing around, and it's still going. Give a little update. This is about a half an hour later. It's no longer turning on and off by itself.
Channel mode 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Light still works. It actually seems to be working just fine. Well, oh, now we're going back on and off again. Okay, this is off. So this is all the way off. And it's back to turning on and off again. Just something to keep in mind if you're looking at buying one of these. As for the battery test with the other one, so this has been on since 9 in the morning with the LED light on.
Skies, here is your forecast for lows in the mid-30s.
And I've had the volume up about right there.
45 miles per hour.
Right now it is currently 5:30. And we are down 1 bar on the battery. So not bad. A little warm, but not bad. This is about the 3rd day of all this testing for the Baofeng UV-5R Mini. I wanted to just kind of summarize everything up and give you guys a little bit of an opinion of what do I think of this after all the testing that I did, unscientific kind of test. Let me break this down to some pros and cons that I kind of wrote down here. So I'm going to start off actually with the cons of this. One of the things I did find is that the air bands didn't seem to tune in very well with this. I live over a flight path for both Midway and O'Hare. Pretty busy air traffic area here. It struggled. The channels on here don't have a group or a zone. So if that's something that's important to you, this radio doesn't really have that. It's just, here's your channels. This is not a scanner, but I did find that when I did try to scan with it, like there was like a pretty long delay to get it moving, and then like it would find something and then the channel would stop transmitting, and then it seemed like it took a pretty long time to get moving on to the next. Is that really a con? I mean, this isn't a scanner, it's you know, a transceiver. Pros to this: size. I like that it's easy to program, whether that's off the front panel. I thought the Bluetooth was even easier, and then chirp is like, it's a piece of cake. It's really easy. I do like that it has USB-C charging, which is still covered with the electrical tape. I also like that, I'll try to do my best to show you guys here. On the side here, you have A and B. Transmit. What that allows you to do is on A, you hold the A button down. If you want to transmit on B, which is your lower frequency there, you press B. So it's got that nice little dual push to talk feature. I like that. A, B. The battery life, which I tested on my other radio, pretty impressive. If you transmit a lot with your radio, if you're pushing to talk, using the push to talk, and you're going to use the battery quicker. In my case, I just couldn't hold down the transmit button and just tie up a frequency that way. I can't do that. you know, I kind of came to the next best thing, and that is I just put the weather radio on, also turned the LED light on the top there on, left both of those on, give you guys an idea. Started it at 9 a.m. and then I turned it off at 9 p.m. So that's a 12-hour total that was constantly on. So 12 hours, it was down to half a battery. So I think that's pretty decent. The last pro to this is the value. You know, I got this on that Amazon Prime Day in October. So the package that I got was $35 for 2 of these. It's hard to argue that. It's a really good value. This radio, the Baofeng UV-5R Mini or 5R Mini, would I recommend this radio? Let me start off by saying I heard something once, and there are tools and there are toys. Yes, there are some things that are tools and toys, but generally for the most part, there are tools and toys. If you look at this as a tool and you're looking at using this for something like MCOM, just be aware of the limitations of it. This is not IP67 rated or whatever the rating is for submersion or being waterproof or whatever. This is not, so take that into consideration. Would I use this as a tool? I don't think I would, honestly. As a toy, yes, absolutely. If you're looking to get into ham radio, you're looking at testing the waters with something like this, this is a great option. This is great. For the money, like I said, I think I paid $17 and some change for this. It was like 35 or something for 2 of them. It's great. And also, let's just face it, if you drop this thing like I did several times and it doesn't work, you're out 17 bucks. Just some things to consider. I think this is a good radio in certain circumstances, knowing the limitations of what this thing can and cannot do. Also, knowing that you're probably not gonna, this is not exactly the most durable radio, but also I put it through something that it is not rated for. In all, I would say I'm pretty impressed with it. Today, it's not doing the turn off randomly, turn back on randomly thing. It's actually working just like it should. 73s everybody.